The ancient game of ping pong.
You guys hear any background coming from my microphone?
So
No.
far, so good.
That's perfect.
I see a little homie chilling in the background though. What up, little homie?
Oh, you do? Oh, yes, you do.
Oh,
Damn.
like who?
Yo, little homie, you gotta move a little bit. Move a little bit closer to mommy.
No, I want to know what he thinks about esports actually.
we want his
She,
opinion.
she, she.
All right, and then I'm ready. Sounds
Um,
good.
is my mic volume good?
Yeah. Let me double check that. You guys are sounding crisp and clear.
Oh yeah.
All right, fuck it, let's get it. All right, guys, welcome up. Welcome to another episode of Fireside Gamer Chat. This is our season finale. This is going to be a panel. We actually have two guests this time, two returning guests, Ross and Adam. And of course, BKB, aka Arthur, and then yours truly, Commando. Yeah, so we're just gonna chill for a little bit, talk about where East. I mean, especially because like I'm more old school esports. I'm not as diverse and figured out of with the new stuff going on, but we have some people that really know what's going up and really have a finger on the pulse on the scene right now. But
Yes,
I did want
sir.
to. Oh, go ahead,
Before
go
we
ahead.
go in, guys, just to a fact, this is the first episode where we have a four-man panel
Yeah,
in
yeah,
this season, right? So this will
Fancy.
be, yeah, this will be something new, and yeah, looking forward to our conversation.
of course, of course. Well, I mean, I was gonna start out with you anyway, so I mean, Arthur, because you've been so you played what was it? Heroes of the Storm, right?
Correct.
So what year were you in that esports realm?
I would say unofficially in esports realm, I was around 2010,
Okay.
like very early. Like basically, I mean, I started watching esports with StarCraft. That was
Okay.
like the first esports game that actually, had the esports quality to it.
Yes.
Besides maybe like fighting games, like arcade games, there's always Tekken, Street Fighter, whatever.
Yeah, Evo
But
was still big then
yeah,
too.
yeah, but when I put my own fingers on a keyboard and participated in esports, that was like officially around 2016 when I signed my first contract with a real organization. So yeah, I think I was in a decent spot. I wasn't too early and I wasn't too late, or in the sense like too current, because currently the esports is at the highest as it's been.
Yes.
Maybe the prize pools are a little bit lower than a few years ago, but regardless, I was fortunate enough to have a lifestyle that I could, basically finance with my esports, career.
Yeah.
That I know you couldn't, because I know you played Halo and other esports games, maybe tier two, tier three, but I know that
Yeah.
you had
My
trouble,
things weren't. I
trouble.
I played before it was even called esports. So I was 2 years before you. I started MLG, Major League Gaming, in 2008, and yeah, that's when like Call of Duty they had Call of Duty Smash. It was more shooters. They had Gears, and then I believe they added like right before it ended, they added World of Warcraft. And so like that was so young in like gaming's history that like it wasn't even considered an esport. I think you were the year of when like esports was officially considered like a staple.
Yeah, it was starting to become a real thing where, if you told your parents, hey, I'm gonna be traveling to China to participate in like, IEM
Which is
Shenzhen
crazy to say.
tournament for like $30,000, then, that was a real thing. But back
Oh
in like
yeah.
2010, when you have the best StarCraft players around the world, and they still first place only gets maybe like $1,000, man. That just sucks, bro. I wish the games back in the old times. Imagine if those games had the current year prize pools. Imagine if we saw
Oh.
the OG StarCraft, World of Warcraft Arena, some Team Fortress 2, whatever, like the OG games with like 1 million prize pools. I would
Yeah.
like to see that. I would like to see full stadium with crowds chanting, team names, while you see I don't know, a soldier from TF2 just aimbotting and doing air shots and all that good stuff. Yeah, man. I don't know.
See, I feel like back in the day it was a lot more flashy. Like people did a lot more cooler shit because like it was because like the prize, like you said, the prize pools were a lot smaller back then. So like people were playing for money, but at the same time like it was a production. So if you were in there, all you wanted to do was do crazy ass trick shots and like crazy take out a whole team by yourself kind of plays, so that you just look like the shit on a national level. But now I feel like you said, because the pools are so high, people are a lot more focused and they like really buckle in and lock in, and no one like I forget, I think I was watching a league tournament a couple years back, and like you could just see everyone's face, and they like no one's breaking eye contact, no one's smiling, no one's like hype about nothing. Everyone's like, no, I gotta win this.
I mean, that's
I think a big
yeah.
part. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think that internet infrastructure is also a lot better to learn games. Like I know, like OG Smash, like Smash Melee, everything was on Smash Sports, and to like find some of the stuff you had to go digging. Like everything was on forums and stuff like that. I think
You had
like,
to look for
Twitter,
it.
Discord. I think the communication is a lot better, so you can learn. Like it's kind of funny now. You see stuff pop up on Twitter for Smash Melee that like this was posted on Smash Sports 15 years ago, but like
Yep.
no normal person is just gonna be able to find that now.
That's also a good point too. You can just type in esports and find a tournament and find shit. Back in the day, we had to look for these things. Yeah, like finding a tournament was the worst part.
Yeah. You can play
And then-
online. There's a one v one app where you can go and just play some random person on real money. I mean, for real money. Like you can play
Well,
legit.
have you
online
guys
one-on-one.
heard of game battles?
Hmm.
Yeah, I was like that was the online, that was the first online tournament like platform that I was using, because it coincided with MLG, like that was like their like online version. So that was where I started, and like that was when that came out, I was like, holy crap! Like we could just sit here, do 1v1s, 2v2s, and like prize pools were, like you said, small, like $50, $500, nothing crazy, but like back then we were also in high school, so.
Well,
Like,
it reminds me of like my earliest like piece of that. I don't know if do you guys remember like Tech 4 or Tech TV G4, like that the channel that was on TV.
yeah.
And so they had this show called Arena, and it was quite literally they just grabbed like random games, and it always ended with Quake. So they had a set of 3 games. They had 2 people who were like gamers, or 2 crews that were gamers. And it'd be like Dead or Alive, Extreme Beach Volleyball, or like Mario Kart, and then it would end on like Quake. And I remember as a kid watching this, going like, man, this is pretty fucking cool. Like I could get behind this, absolutely. And then next thing you know, a handful of years later, it's you're watching Slayers MMA versus I Am MVP for the StarCraft finals from the Staples Center. At BlizzCon kind of deal. That was my like first realization, like, oh shit, it's back. But like if you had like a neighborhood where everyone got together, played Smash or played Mario Kart, or you brought up Tekken, that's where I started. These fighting games. You always had that one kid who you wanted to bring down. He was just invincible or whatever. And with the expansion of all of that, as it got more professional and more like cylindrical as far as the pipeline is concerned, you started to see the growth of it. It was just so cool to see, from like, this is a goofy show that's on G4 to like the prime time. It's showing like the Kespa Cup was just shown on Disney Plus, which is crazy.
Is it really?
The League of Legends. Yeah, so the League of Legends tournament that just happened, the Kespa Cup, where it's more of a Korean thing than anything else. It was streamed on Disney Plus. It was region locked.
No way.
But like, if you would have told me that these main proprietors of streaming services would pull up an esports tournament even 5 years ago, I'm like, they should, but the fact
there's
that
no
they
way.
finally are. Like, cause yeah, anyone can pull up a YouTube, anyone can pull up a Twitch, but the fact that like the main, like Disney Plus owns everything
Pretty
at
much
this point.
everything.
Like, yeah, anyways, here's an esports tournament, enjoy that. And it just cycles back to, 15, 20 years ago where we're a bunch of kids in the sandbox going, hey, like we're playing some Halo in the basement. You want to come down? Like, it's so cool to see the growth of that.
I agree, and that's so true. Like, I didn't even know that it's finally hit streaming platforms. That is a crazy realization of how far we've come. Like, cause yeah, G4, cause like I remember G4 was like my intro into entertainment, as far as like tournaments and like just all around gameplay for like professional gaming, and.
Right.
I found out later that like, dude, it wasn't even funded. Like, it was funded by like nobody, and like that's why all the shows like were so basic and so like YouTube-esque. And now I know they tried to bring it back as like a Twitch channel, and like it didn't really pan out. But to see that, like, because yeah, either way, every esports tournament is still going to be streamed on YouTube. And it's going to be streamed on probably their own website, which is usually their own streaming platform. So like, it's crazy because there's no way I would have never thought that like I'd be on like the possibility of being on a streaming platform that everyone can see. Like that's just like that's the equivalent of being on like ESPN. Which I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
There was a time, I would say probably around like your time when you were streaming, like 2000, 2010. 2011, where ESPN was actually doing like the highlights, and they would do esports. I don't know if they still do that, but like that was a game changer for me too.
ESPN has like Rocket League games very occasionally now.
Yeah, Rocket League.
Shout out. They had Heroes of the Storm actually on ESPN.
See,
and that
like
flopped,
that's
the game
crazy.
died. I mean, the league died. But yeah, that was really crazy. And the numbers were pretty good too, but
oh yeah, because like, if you're already
we have like
watching
ESPN the Ojo, like how do we not have ESPN the esport? Like, you know what I mean? Like we have these, like I'm sitting here watching like lawnmower racing, like you mean to tell me I can't get,
I can't
like,
get a top esports game on here?
Yeah, I can't get a couple of fighters. Like, listen, people are shelling out premium for pay-per-view MMA fights. Like, I'll shell out for a Capcom Cup,
Oh,
I'll
hell
shell
yeah.
out for, a backyard brawl kind of situation. Like, this kind of like piggyback on like what we were talking about earlier, but I would love like a low tier brawl kind of situation where it's like, you see like stream snipes and stuff like that, like
Yes.
community-based tournaments on ESPN. Sign me up, dude. Open
That
up a
would be
betting
sick.
pool on the side hosted by MGM Bet or,
Yeah, I love that you play MGM Bet.
I mean,
Well, like, how do you make the money? Like,
Yeah,
that's how you do it. You open it to the people. You let them do the thing. And if Dark Ninja 69 is going up against Goth Mommy Milkers 420, like I'm putting money on that. I'm sorry.
I am
Like,
putting money on that.
it's real, man. The stadiums are full as well. Why? It's a really equivalent to sports. Maybe not. Can maybe compare to like soccer. Like
Yeah.
some S tier sport, but still, regardless, it's really up there. But also backtrack to what you said. You said people used to have more fun, and now everyone is stone faced, and
Locked in.
it's only understandable because it's only makes sense. Because they're trying to compete for the big money, they're kind of want to be the number one team or number one player. But what I miss though is what happened is that people are being forced now to play meta,
Yes.
and that is the sad part because that kind of
You
ruins
have to follow the fucking rules of the game.
it ruins the spectator,
I agree.
it ruins the fun for
I
us.
hate meta.
Every game is the same draft, same heroes, same thing, and then same everything. And it's like people used to innovate, like even in Dota, like early Dota International, bro, you would see the craziest picks ever. The picks that you would never expect, and they would somehow make it work.
Yep.
But eventually, I guess people had improved on the infrastructure and everything. That people got, they catch up with the skill that they're kind of, they cannot go, play the cheese draft or cheese pick no more because they're gonna get punished for it, and that is real, and that's kind of the sad part about esports, that it's just becoming less fun in some ways because it's becoming more repetitive. That was not really a problem back in the old times. You would see actually more flashy plays, more mindfuck plays,
More people
more
trying different things.
unorthodox plays. Yeah, some crazy backdoors, some crazy this.
Yeah.
Now it's everything. Everything is by the book. You have to do this and this and this. If you want to get advantage here, you have to do this. If you're losing advantage here, you have to do advantage on the other side of the map. Like everything is by the book. So and yeah.
That's one of my
I don't
biggest complaints, is that it not only ruined the professional side of things, like the competitive side of things, but the casual side of things. That streamer culture and like esports professionals made it so, if you're not building this way, if you're not doing it this way, you're obviously playing to lose. Like, dude, I'm just trying to have some fun.
No.
Like, I'm, like when a new game comes out, you find the newest personality, the newest pro or whatever who's doing the thing, and you try to emulate that. Like, Call of Duty is a prime example of like, dude, I don't even play Call of Duty, and it's in my feed all over the place. Here's the best loadout for the weapon. Like, what if I just enjoy playing this goofy ass thing that works for me, but if it's not meta, then I've got 3 other people on my crew who are just flaming me for like not doing the right thing.
For
and so
not being
even on a professional
like,
side,
on the
like
know.
you mentioned, like you were talking about, like the same 5 champs. League tried to do the whole fearless draft, so you can't play the same champion. But like, as a casual guy who just wants to play the game, if I can't flip reset into a musty in Rocket League, I'm dog shit, and that is crazy to me. Where you used to like, and even all the way back to like, if you were having issues with the game or something like that, there was no game FAQs, there was no board to talk about strat. You had to rise, grind, and get your teeth kicked in
And
to
figure
figure out what you were
yourself.
doing wrong and who was doing something right. There was no tier listing of characters and stuff like that. And now, because we have, as someone mentioned earlier, we have the ease of access of information. Where 15 years ago, it's like, it's here now. Haha, you should have known. It's like, dude, I don't need to be deep diving the pluses and minuses of my loadout before the game even starts. Sometimes you lose before the game even starts. And so I think that also it does a disservice to people who are just trying to play a game. They're not trying to be a professional. They're not trying to be over the top. Just your average Joe doesn't get to play the game the way they want to without some kind of backlash from it, because the 3 other guys on the crew are like, hey, didn't you see so and so such and such? It's like, I don't care, honestly. I really don't. I'm just trying to play the game. If I'm rising and grinding, I get the meta maxing, I guess you
gotta
can
do
call
the
it.
matching properly or whatever.
That-
like, I understand.
Yeah,
but...
that I can understand, but it's like, when you load into a MOBA now, the first thing you do is you look up your build order. Like, you probably already know it if you played enough.
Yeah.
But you're trying to find a way to min-max your experience instead of going and just playing the game. And I think that's something that's definitely reared its head within the last handful of years that is super unfortunate for the casuals.
go ahead.
It's not only it actually, it's all connected, because also recently just League of Legends mentioned the same thing that you're mentioning. That basically people are forced to, if you don't go for the specific runes, or if you don't go for the specific build, no matter how decent of a gamer you are, but if you're new to the game, but that player, the opposite player, goes for the right build and the runes, he has advantage on you. You're gonna probably lose. And that is the problem of every game. It's so hard for a person to start Dota, to start League, because if you need to, it's also becoming less unfun, like Cheese mentioned, because you're not innovating, you're not doing anything, you're just literally following a build, a guide
that someone else made.
Yeah, and it just kind of takes the soul away, and that is the unfortunate thing, I think. But League of Legends are trying to change and overhaul the systems, like rune system. They want to fix what basically Cheeses mentioned, and it starts with the casuals. It starts with that part, because if that part is good, then the viewership might be better, and then esports is better, because esports is nothing without the casuals, because casuals are the ones watching esports. Yeah, exactly. They're the ones who are supporting their favorite players, So like I said, it's all interconnected, and yeah, and this really becoming it's becoming a real issue again. You know.
I think like ranked being like the most like focused on game mode of most developers, like it's kind of natural you see it like this. Like I feel like when I was growing up, there'd be like a lot of fun game modes. Like when I was playing like Black Ops, like there'd be like random stuff, zombies, stuff like that. But now
Yeah.
like recently I started playing TFT, and it's like you either play casual or you play ranked, and like
Yep.
yeah, it's like I either have to learn a build to play the game or I just lose right away. So I think the way the games are made now, it also kind of emphasizes this ultra competitive structure when it used to just be a lot more casual.
Now, so do you think, like, and this is a question to all three of you guys, do you think that esports is like, because esports is getting to where it is right now, is that deteriorating like the normal casual play? Because I feel like we all kind of like touched on it, of like, but like, do you think that like the esports culture is the reason why now like a casual player is not enjoying a game? Because like even like Smash, I know we were talking about like League and Dota and even like, well, Halo and like shooters a little bit, but you can still pick a build, like you can still kind of do it in a game, in a shooter game. But one of the things I like, because I know tier lists were not a thing until streamers started making them, but like a fighting game, like that's one of those raw games that you can't really, you can learn. Oh yeah, Liu Kang's the best player, the best character in Mortal Kombat. It's like, but is he? Like, no, it's really just how you handle that character.
Yeah. There are exceptions for sure, 100%. There are exceptions, but at the end of the day, I think it does stem from esports. But the main problem started when they started release rank. When rank came out, when leaderboards came out, when the people started flaming you, hey, why you're not building this item? You know, again, what she's mentioned. Why you're not going, oh, why are you picking this hero on top lane? You know,
I was just about to say that.
top
Yeah.
lane. Yeah, and I think it started with the ranked, with leaderboard, and then again, it comes down to esports as well.
'Cause I was gonna say,
There's
like,
esports,
leaderboards have always been a
people
thing.
wanna rank up more. You know, they wanna make sure their name is up there. You know them. So it's all again connected, but yeah, it really does come to ranked and leaderboard. That's where the most fun was ruined, and people got toxic, and the community was not a community no more. It was just, at least that was my experience with like most of the games that I played. You know, like specifically League of Legends as well.
Yeah.
I think it also bleeds into something where I was talking about, underdogs during our podcast, where it's like I like when things don't make sense.
Yeah.
I'm always reminded of Rengchu, who was a Tekken player who took Kuma and Panda and won. It might have been Evo,
Wild.
it may not have been, but like a
Wild.
huge like tournament with a C tier character, and
Yes.
that cracks me up. I love that kind of stuff. Reminded of the boss, who's a League of Legends player who is nefarious for feeding out. He'll go 1-17 in a game,
Oh, God.
and in that final team fight, carry it all the way through. That's not meta. Giving your opponent resources is
Hell
not
no,
meta.
that's not meta.
And so I like the innovation that can breed, but I mean, listen, when you're playing for prize pools, you're gonna do. I mean, you look at traditional sports. You're not gonna have your QB going for fourth and long because it's flashy. You still have a pot to win. Contracts to keep. So I think, yeah, streamer culture and the esports side of things opened the floodgates to the meta builds and whatever.
Yeah.
But there are still shining moments of innovation and just overall weirdness that it works. So, the cheese strats and stuff like that.
The
Okay.
world has been infatuated with stats. Like I don't think it's just esports, but you can look at like pro sports itself. Like for football plays, like stuff that does not pass the eye test is now like what people are doing, because it's like, oh, analytically we realize that like we get 70% of our fourth downs are like pass it. Like so
Oh shoot.
I think it's not just like esports itself. I think a lot more people are just looking at base stats. So I think it's like not intuitive and not like you can kind of figure stuff out. I think people really digging into like the details and like the data, like they're able to kind of uncover things, and it's like I think it is kind of frustrating because it's like you can't uncover it if you're just playing the game and doing the thing. So I think it's like, yeah, a very different landscape than I think what we had before. And I think like also just the people who are like obsessed with the stat stuff are very good at what they do, and they're very good at figuring out like what is optimal, what does the data say you should do. So
That's
I
a
think
good point.
the whole entire system around it.
Because I don't know, for some reason, what
It's
you
a
a
very
literal
good-
coaching position, dude. It's right next to your coach and assistant coach and like your positional coaches. There's a guy who just crunches numbers and sits
that's
people
it.
down and goes, "Hey, based on what we're seeing, based on the way these guys are playing, this is what we should do." It's before the first champion's even on the board, or before
yeah.
you even sit at the chair. Like there is a guy who has run you through any and every optimization, and it's your job to now commit to that. And so that's a great point.
Yes. Instead of just worrying about your own personal skill, your own like, all right, no, now I gotta listen to what the analytics are telling me, and I gotta play accordingly now. So I agree. I feel like it's definitely. I feel like esports, as big as it is now, has influenced even like someone that just like if I want to play Rocket League, and I'll play ranked. I play ranked most of the time, and because it just feels good, getting a nice little symbol. But it has nothing to do with me trying to be the best. Like I just like having like you said, leaderboards. This feels nice. But I also am not gonna play top tier. Like you said, I don't even know how to do a musty. I have no idea how to do it. Haven't figured it out. But I love the game.
But then there's other people who think the opposite of you. Even in gold, maybe they just picked up the game and they want to become the best Rocket League player, and they believe so. They just watch 100 videos on YouTube. They got the motivation going. He's like,
It's
I'm
just
gonna be the best.
Which
And then
I get it. And
then he plays against someone like you who doesn't take it as serious, and then he poops on you, and he's like,
then
yeah,
he's mad
I'm
about
going
it.
up
Oh,
to
you
the-
don't
I'm
do.
going
You're
up
not
against-
flying.
No, but honestly, what I also believe is that this is not only esports. I think everything in the life right now has improved so massively and so fast, like on accelerated levels.
Yeah.
I think if you look at any sport, it has improved vastly. Like if you look at basketball or soccer, if you watch those games from 80s, bro, you feel like, bro, I could become the best soccer
I would have been
player.
the best
The
soccer
way
player
they
in the
play,
80s.
Bro, the way they play like trees, bro. They run like trees. They have no skill. They just look corny and whack, bro. And everything has improved. Like again, it's like maybe the curse of technology is different because technology goes like this, right? But everything else, like sports or like what we humans improving alongside with the technology, because technology again helps us with the stats, with the infrastructure, whatsoever. But I do believe everything in life is improving, so everything is a lot more. Everything is by the book, Maybe back then it was like pure talent and skill and practice, and you could become the best.
Innovative.
But nowadays, if you don't go by the script, if you don't do this type of practice, then you're not gonna be able to, be the highest jumper, or whatever. Or you're not gonna be able to become, the best goalkeeper if you don't practice this specific, practice regime. So I think again
Also,
it
the
comes down to
PEDs have gotten way better.
The
a
what?
what?
Also, the performance-enhancing drugs have gotten so much better.
Yeah.
They've gotten so good.
Yeah.
Which, thank God, that's the one thing about esports I do like. There is not many drugs you can take to make yourself better at esports.
It goes a
like-
long way, man.
Yeah.
Like,
It was
I
a
remember
thing.
back in the day, people were like, oh my God, like, let me take some Addy before a tournament. It's like, all right, like, you can get all hyper focused all you want. if I'm
Do
better
not
at
shoot
you, I'm
straight.
better at you.
Cody Schwab is was the #1 melee player last year.
Oh,
And
nice.
like, he has like an Adderall prescription, so he takes it because it's like medically prescribed. But a lot of people are like, he's cheating. He can't be on that.
But see,
It's like-
is that really cheating for regulating your body?
I don't think so, but I think. a lot of
Well, it's hilarious when you see a Call of Duty player and they're like, "Hey, man, you won your match. How's it going?" And they're just like, "Yeah,
Fucking-
everything's fine, man.
fucking
Everything's
lit."
great. I couldn't miss. It's crazy." You're like, "Whoa, boyo." It's like watching old wrestlers like, "What?"
Yeah,
Freaking
yeah.
rough, it's just it's there. Some people thinks it helps. You know, it could be placebo, but there's a certain level to it.
I guess so. It could be a placebo because, like, all right, like, because that's one of the things that definitely changed. I feel like, at least when I got into esports and like when I was doing tournaments and being competitive, like, people really were pushing like, oh, you can't be taking drugs because drugs cheat. It was like, all right, like, so if I smoke weed, I'm enhancing myself. Like, no, but now you don't really hear much about that, like, because most people are prescribed something at this point. Some people are taking some kind of medication, and it's like that's not like it's not been a big focus, at least in esports, that I've been accompanied to.
Until it's very becoming like a big concern and an issue where people do see a big difference, or it goes through like some trials of tests, if it does really enhance a lot and prove the performance enhancement. But I think until it's like a legal drug, whether it be
If it's
Adderall,
legal, yeah.
I don't think it should be a big concern, because I've known people that used Adderall and they still didn't finish top one,
and they're still not good.
Yeah, so it's like, well, no, they're still good, but it's not as a big, it's not as a big issue.
No, because I just remember nowadays I hear if someone wins, no one talks, like, everyone's like, yo, good job, they did their stuff, they were strategic about it, they learned all their things. But I just remember, like, it felt like WWE back when I started. Like, it just felt like raw and pandemonium, and people would just constantly call people out. Like, win or lose, someone's talking crap. There was a video that went around of me, like, I wasn't playing in the tournament, but I was supporting one of my friends that was on a team, right? And the video is me in the background getting kicked out from security because I was too loud, and I was quote unquote harassing the other teammates of the other team and causing problems. And nowadays I watch esports. People are screaming all the time. I was like, dude, that's what I was doing. All I was doing was screaming and rooting on my team. And I literally remember it was so funny.
Unruly, man. Like, fighting, like the fighting game community is insane, dude. About talking shit and taking names during it as well.
Which I
like
love.
You see the old the Jay Wong clip. Just I guess 20 different clips of fighting game players getting all up in people's faces. Whose bitch this is?
Yeah.
Like quotables. Like,
now if you do that, you get like a penalty or a fine.
Yeah. It's crazy that's how far it's come now. Like, sure, if you're being a nuisance and like getting involved, sure, but that's crazy.
Yes. But like, because you know me, it's not like I was like, yo, you can, like, I wasn't attacking anyone. I was just like, yo, my team got another kill. Like, I'm just screaming like, hell yeah, let's go. Like, and I got a whole team. I had a whole crowd chanting their names, and they're like, you can't do that. I'm like, what do you mean, like?
Lame.
And now, literally, that's all it is.
Now in the stadiums, like, if you look at CS to be specific, they literally have smoke of players going up. They're singing songs like.
Oh, that would have been banned. Like, that would have definitely been banned.
Yeah.
We were at WC, the Mad Koi boys. They had an entire cheering section. They brought trumpets. They brought drums. It was like being at a soccer match for an esports tournament. I still have those chants locked into my head because we could hear them before we could see them. Da, 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 like everywhere, and it was awesome. And like, it was bleeding into some of the comms and stuff. So they're like, hey, maybe like, we don't just do this the whole time, kind of thing. But like, it's the level of environment, man. That's like, it's what you're in. Like, I can't. You want us to like. We were just talking about how chess became an esport this year, like officially like recognized kind of thing.
Yeah.
And how the casters, when they first start, they're talking like, oh, he's going with this gambit, and then by the end they're talking like this, and oh, he's gonna go in the right hand side. Blah, blah. Like, I couldn't imagine being excited about something and being told to shut the hell up. Like, that would that's not.
We have to be gentlemen about it. Like, no.
Yeah. Like, you're gonna get hyped, you're gonna get loud. Like, this isn't golf. It's a whole different spectrum.
Which I still don't
and
understand
so
why people have to be so goddamn quiet in golf.
You're gonna mess up their stroke, dude. Like that's
They're gonna
I
mess up
get it, but I
regardless
don't
if
have to
they
agree.
mess up.
It's fucking up either way. So I don't know. I think that's one of the fun things about esports as well is like you don't have to necessarily even be loud there. You can be loud in the chat. Like it's so fun to watch your favorite esports thing and someone pops off and 9 guys dogpile on him and then there's
It's
18
literally a
dudes
freaking
dogpiling
chat
on those.
argument.
Like, dude, it's crazy.
That's what makes esports, even real sports. If you watch real sports without commentators, bro, the games be boring. If you watch esports without commentators, the games will be twice as boring. But if you watch esports with commentators, again, shout out to CS, Counter-Strike talent, it goes crazy, man. The way they go in and it just makes you jump out of the chair, and be like, whoa. It's all them.
Should I can watch competitive Hearthstone with the right person?
Yeah, even that, man. Even with the right person, even you can make Hearthstone very fun to watch, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's like kind of the one part of esports I think really gets like neglected. I think a lot of people want to be on the playing side or the production side, but not a lot of people want to be behind the mic. And I think it's like we are gamers. I think everyone's already kind of naturally like inclined away from that. But I think like one of the biggest issues I see in like Smash esports is like I want to watch. I love Smash. This is good, and then I go on and I'm hearing like the most like rancid commentary of all time, and it's like why would I stay here? But I think it is hard to learn how to commentate because it's like a lot of things I think you can just look up the builds of how do I do this, like, but no, I think that's the one part of esports you still have to like brute force and like you have to be shitty at before you get good at it.
It is an art. It is an art.
But that's why you also call it talent, because I think those things you also have to be naturally talented. Like you just have to be,
That is
because
the
you can
talent.
make any. If you have talent to make something boring into fun, then that's the gem, bro. And there's only few people that do it, but there's few people that do it in CS, in League, and Dota. Maybe you count them less than your one hand.
I was gonna say I will say that is an improvement that they could be doing, because I mean I guess thinking about when I first started, or like back when it was like blooming, we didn't have a lot of commentators. We did have a few, but now I feel like we do have like a little bit more. But you're still correct. It's still very small of a group. But now they're just using that small group over and over again. Like you'll see, like the person that's commentating Call of Duty is the same person that commentated League of Legends like a week ago. Same one that's doing the Hearthstone. Like they have their like people that they pick, and they're not even looking for new people to grow it. Because that's one of the things I've always wanted to do. That's kind of how I really got like really deep into this world. Is like. I was friends with Rivington, and he
the boy Riv.
Yeah, he lived in Jersey. Like I met him. We did tournaments in Manhattan, and I was there when he got the call from Riot and was like, "Hey, like we want you," and I was like, "That's so cool." And then like I watched this kid that just is living life basic to being like the fucking like top motherfucking guy. If you say his name, everyone freaking turns their head, and like he lives in a mansion in Jersey now. Like he has a whole motorcycle collection. I'm like, that's ridiculous. And no one understood that could be a viable career, and so no one really wanted to go for it. But the people that did, like, honed it and learned that talent and got really good. So now it's like, man, to get in is almost like you have to be like NFL level commentary. You have to know all the plays, know all the things, and it's like, it was fun when I just would be like, oh my god, look at that guy beating the shit out of the other guy.
Well, that's one of the things for me as a caster that also ruined the experience. We're talking about, ruining the experience of casuals. Like, if I was called up to do a game, there is so much that I could watch. There is so much that I could do as a player to try to figure it out. And, like, at the end of the day, if it wasn't entertaining, then it didn't really matter. And so, if I'm playing Rocket League and I have a cast next week, if I wasn't at least platinum, I felt like I didn't even deserve to be on that desk. Oh. And it took me realizing that there are multiple personalities out there that aren't even silver or gold. Like, Shulks is my prime example. Shulks is fucking everywhere, man. From the LEC to Counter Strike to what name you. She is
Literally.
entertaining is all hell, and she knows enough to get.
She knows
No, I'm not
enough.
even gonna say enough to get by, but she knows the topic. She knows the players. She's also entertaining to hear speak and stuff like that. She's eloquent, and so you don't have to necessarily be a gamer to find yourself in that spot. You just have to be entertaining, and I think she does that absolutely phenomenal. But as a person who's like, I kind of want to pursue this, but I'm not a champion. Like, you don't have to necessarily be. You got to know a little bit, sure. Maybe don't call a musty a whoop-de-doo or something like that. Have your terminology down.
I was gonna say,
how
I was
map
like,
rotation works.
that is a problem.
know.
I will
She
say,
is an exception, though. I will have to say, because she is a very like high influence, a very known personality in esports, and she's also one of the early ones. And also,
she was there from the
not to,
beginning.
not to take away, but also she's one of the first female talents that
Sure.
blew up.
Okay, that makes sense.
But again, not to take away from what you said and from her.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a challenger or grandmaster in games to find a job or to work as a talent in esports. But you might need some credibility or some network
To get in.
start going, to get in. But regarding the casters and the talents, even for me, when I watch League of Legends, honestly, whenever I had like Kobe or Rivington casting, I would be like, yeah, this is gonna be fun. I don't know, it was just like by nature. It's just like when they were casting the games, it just made the game like more enjoyable to watch, and that's it. And when there's like a new caster, it's like kind of turns you off in some ways, And again, it just proves that they play a very, very huge role into viewership experience.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. It's just like cause I'm thinking of like NFL is like the casters that I see that are like the ones that are in the box, like in the game during the games and stuff. They're all like ex football players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so like I get like okay they played the game so they should have enough knowledge to speak it, but then like not everyone can speak in a way that makes it like oh shoot this sounds fun. Like there's these old dudes are like mad boring, and I'm like, dude, I get you have all the knowledge, great, whoop-de-doo, dude. Like, can you make it sound fun though?
Yeah, I'm a big Islander fan on the hat, but
Hey,
MSG,
shout out to Islanders.
broadcaster does everything. Like recently they've been getting a lot of like old or recently retired players to like hop on the broadcast and like be a part of it. And it's kind of funny. You see the range of like some of these guys are really like made for it, and some are like a lot more reserved and like.
Like, what
Not
are you
there
doing
for the
behind a
camera.
desk?
Yeah, but I think the one thing that's interesting, like the Islanders probably have like one of the best commentators in the NHL. He's like very highly regarded among the sport.
Yeah.
I don't think he really has a big hockey background. I think he was more focused on baseball, but he was just so good at commentating, and like he's done stuff for the Yankees too now at this point. But
Oh, nice.
he's so good at commentating, telling a story, and like getting people excited. Where it's like, yeah, he had the credentials, he had enough of the hockey knowledge, but yeah, at a point it's like, how good at storytelling are you?
Yes.
And then they do have a big advantage. Like if you played like again Counter-Strike and Dota, you see this a lot. Not so much in League of Legends. They keep the talent usually tight as it is. But in CS and Dota, you would see a new tournament pop out. You'll see a new host desk pop out, and you'll see two pro players just casting. Either they retired or either they benched, but you see them, and a lot of them have been praised and given like many compliments because some people say it brings a fresh breath in the whole like analyst desk. The guy literally predicts how the match is gonna go instead of your usual analyst that's not really like we say like the challenger grandmaster player, and he might know one or two things. He might make it sound cool and smart, but he doesn't really go into depths of it. He doesn't really explain from A to Z what's gonna happen. And when you hear that before the game starts, and when you see that being executed in the game, it's like it's like you open the book and it's like, whoa, it just lays out from you, and you even see the play being made because he mentioned that that's what they're gonna do.
Well, so I got a question for everyone. Do we all have a favorite caster? Like, if you had to pick, like, can you
I mean,
first off,
yeah.
can you name a caster? Second off, is that
Yeah.
one that's your favorite?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000,000% yes. It's funny that you brought up Riv. Riv is honestly like the reason I kept. He had a Inside the Pros like video or something, and he talked about how he was going to stock the shelves at his local supermarket until he got his next cast.
Yep.
And like that resonated with me. But he's also just one of the hypest fucking people ever.
Yeah.
And I also love Medi Vedi and LEC. I
Oh, shit.
adore them.
Okay.
They're so fun. Anytime, like you were saying, anytime I see Medi and Vedi on an LEC cast, I don't care what team is playing, I'm locked in. It's 'cause they're fun, they're informational, and like they just go off the rails. But Rivington also was just brought a level, whether it was League or Valorant, when he moved over. He's the reason I got into watching Valorant. It's like, oh, well,
Yeah.
if this guy signs off on it, then it must be good. And
Yeah, then it must be
so-
good. If he could talk hype about
Must be
it,
good.
gotta play it. Gotta watch it. How about you, Ross? Do you have a commentator? I know there's a couple Smash commentators, but
I think my favorite is Toph, Bobby Scar, the combo, the duo.
okay.
Very classic.
That's
came back
classic,
somewhat
yeah.
Recently, but they had a kid. They're not too around at this point, but like the way that Toph was able to like analytically break things down, and like Bobby Scar got at your emotions, like I don't think we really see the duos like that anymore, where it's like
We
two guys always
don't.
together. You more see like individuals, but like they're just both so good at what they did and like intertwined. Like it was really something special, and I think like a big reason of why Melee came up was because they were behind the mic, so any regular person could watch and get like enthralled.
I
think
agree.
like both them are kind of gone now, so it's like for Melee, it's probably like Young Waff, but besides that,
Okay.
like, yeah, there's no one like really like I think on Smash at least who's like the commentator, like the person. Like there are people who always get hired, but I don't think there's like people who can tell that story anymore.
Yes, there's always the same ones that get hired versus the ones that like, oh, but like you said, dude, that yin and yang. You're right. I think that's what I like. Is like I like a duo and they're literally like opposite. Like one's analytic and one is more emotion. And so like that play off of it always gets crazy, and like that's what I watch that more than I actually watch the game. Like that's what keeps me focused. So I agree. That's a very good choice. Arthur, you got one?
Yeah, I have actually quite plenty, and two of them are retired ones. From Dota 2, it was Toby Wan. He's like one of my favorite ones. Dude had so much energy that you felt
Okay, good.
tired after the game because he would suck the energy out of you, and he did it so effortless. I think he was one of the best talents we ever had. From League of Legends, also retire one, Kobe, that I mentioned before. It's just always entertaining to watch. His voice was very calming and pleasant, and just a natural caster. And then from the current ones that still are ongoing,
Yeah, who you got? That's
are Launders from CS. He goes by Launders. He's a kind of new talent. but
Launders, okay.
He's amazing. And shout out to Heroes of the Storm. At that time, there's a guy called Calder. He's from Germany. He did actually StarCraft also and some other games, but then he moved to Heroes of the Storm, like most of us did, until it died. But yeah, he was
Until
also
it died.
one of the unorthodox casters, because he would get in trouble, and he would actually not be invited in Blizzard tournament because he would swear. He would actually say words like "Oh my fucking god," and he would
Yeah.
say shit like that. But but it was genuine reaction, and the fact that you see genuine emotion and genuine reaction, it made the whole thing just like, whoa, the dude is swearing. He's making it look so intense, you know.
I agree. I would love the profanity thing to be lifted, the censorship to be lifted, but I understand why it's not. I get it. I understand. But it
Well,
would
we
be
got
so
sponsors.
cool if they didn't.
How dare you? This is a family channel.
Yeah, no, I want them to go off. Like, no, that'd be so fucking awesome.
Oh,
What
and
are you-
shout out to Effie as well. She's a Dota 2 analyst. She's like very
Yep.
how to say, non-stereotypical girl that looks like a model, but at the same time when she speaks,
Just happens
she
to
speaks
know a
so
shit ton about
no,
video
she knows
games.
everything about the game that makes you even think, oh wait, she's right. and then you're like, wait, what are you even doing here? You know, because she's
What
like,
are you doing
she's
here?
all around like, yeah, because she's just awesome. She's a very kind lady, and she's just so smart, and everyone respects her, and she's like, for me, she's like the next Shock. You know,
Okay.
that's how it is for me.
Well, and I
you
also
can look
forgot to
her up.
mention the like unorthodox. You were talking about that Yipes, IFC Yipes.
I was just gonna say,
fighting
yo, he's
commentator.
on my. I was like, I have
Dude.
a list of my favorites, but it's just because they're my friends and I watch them become such
Sure.
great commentators. Yipes is number 2, 100%.
Dude, he'll cast the button presses. Get it, do it again. Like there's no substance there.
I
but
love
you
it.
Feel it in your bones, dude. It's so good. Hey, get him a happy birthday. Call his mama. You know, just like stuff that's so just
No, that's and
unhinged.
he's
Yeah.
that's the perfect
It's a
example
different type.
because
It's a
Yipes,
comedy, right?
yeah, because Yipes like he's good at fighter games, yes, but he like his background, he actually like is a comedian. Like he's a comedian.
There we go.
And, like,
There we go.
And so, like, he does it in such a way when he casts that it's just the funniest thing to ever watch. It's like, what in the world are you saying, my guy?
Well, there we go. He just
he
adds
used
the
to do
comedy
that shit
element
in
to
like
make it
Chinatown, like
funny.
in the arcades, like while people were like
Yeah.
while we're all playing. I'm like, what are you doing? No, like for sure,
get that.
Yipes. Obviously Rivington because that's my boy. I'm so proud of him for everything he's done. Guy Blaze, he does a lot of MLG. Not MLG, sorry, a lot of Halo and Call of Duty kind of tournaments. Podcast, commentating, and then my number 1 is Golden Boy. That's my dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the exact amount of hype and information that I need in a game. I need you to be.
Yeah.
I don't need you to be crazy. I need you to get excited, but I also need you to tell me what the fuck's going on because sometimes I forget.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a
Does
good
Golden Boy
choice.
do the State Farm Gamerhood, or is that someone else?
Yeah, that's the Gamerhood. Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what I know Golden Boy from, and like, yeah, they're great there. They're sick.
Yeah. No, he.
Yeah.
So we grew up playing. Shit. What team? Oh yeah, we played Halo. We played Halo on. God, Beyond Gaming. This is like 2008, 2009.
Oh, shit.
And that at this time, Rivington was already starting his commentating jobs and starting getting like really big in that way. And me and Golden Boy were both players. And then he just like, hey, I think I want to like be on the I want to be behind the desk. I was like, dude, go for it, dude. And like he did a couple like
Fire.
locals for like gears and stuff like that, and then fucking skyrocketed. He was on the G4 channel when they revived it. But yeah, no, he does like some Gamerhood thing. But I loved his MLG commentating because like I think that was top tier.
Yeah, I wish there were more guys. Like, I know you talked earlier and said it was like you need the talent to be able to get good at it, but I don't know. I don't think there's anything in life where you need the talent to be able to get good. But I think right now there are like not a lot of tools to get better at commentary, and I think like
No.
for games you can see your rank go up, you see your elo go up, but you hit the combo. I think it's very hard to judge like, am I doing better at commentary? So I think it is a very hard skill to, you know, like hone and get better at. But I think if there were better tools, I think like we would see a rise in commentary, which I think like would very much like feed positively into the esports ecosystem, because we don't got enough
Shoot.
storytellers, we got too many stat nerds.
Well,
Yo,
that's where the analyst
that's good.
that comes in. That's why I think that for casting, you actually need to have that natural talent. Like, for example, Yipes, you know, he was a comedian before, so he adds the comedy angle to his casting, and voila, he makes his own his own sauce,
It's
right?
his own path,
But,
yeah.
but what you're saying is like, I agree. But I think that's why the analyst desk, like, you don't need the talent, because yeah, you can be like a stat nerd and you can still be in the talent desk, right, and be an analyst, you know. But you're not gonna be the one casting the game,
I
because
was
if you
gonna
don't
say,
have that,
I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot. Like, there's a couple that, like, there's certain things I don't watch competitively, gaming wise, because like obviously, like it'll be a smaller tournament. The tournament can't afford a Rivington or a Blaze or anything like that, so they get like, you know, basic like players, and then it's just like people boringly telling you the stats. Like I would rather like have knowledge in the game. 100%. It's really dumb. Trust me. I've only commentated one time. I commentated a Gears of War tournament, and it was the most embarrassing thing I ever did because I thought I knew the game 100%. And like I was like, oh, I'm funny. No, every play that happened, I was like, oh yeah, that guy, oh, chainsawed him. Oh look, oh, he's hiding behind the corner. Like I was just super basic about shit. And they're like, do you even know what game we're playing? I was like, no, I was like, I don't know. I got a camera on me and I fucking failed.
You can hone those skills. You can get better for sure. But
yeah, you can get better.
But if
now,
you do put like 20 people next to each other, and one person does have that natural talent, and if that person also starts honing his natural talent, I still think he has slight advantage, at least specifically in the casting role. Not in analyst desk, maybe not in a host, maybe. I think it's easier to be like a host, a tournament host, being like, welcome to
just being the introduction guy.
I think that is easier than casting a whole game.
Oh yeah,
you need to know
because you have to understand. You have to watch the plays, call them out at the right time.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff
crazy.
Is really hard. So I agree with Ross. Like they're actually like there's a lot of tools to become an actor, to become a gamer, to become a streamer. I actually have never heard of a single tool to be a fucking, like, a host, to be a commentator. That would be nice. One of you guys, please trademark that and make that a thing so I can learn from you.
Well, that was one of the things when I started with Boise State. I was like a League of Legends guy. I knew my stuff, and like, you know, my background in radio made it easy to put those two together. And I remember walking in, he's like, hey, we have Rocket League tonight, and we have League of Legends. It's like, cool, so who's doing Rocket League? He's like, you are. What? Like, huh? And I'll give credit where it's due. So Dr. Haskell, you know, the guy who spearheads Boise State, was like, man, I could hand you a Cheesecake Factory menu, and you could make it exciting. Go do that.
Yeah.
And it just like opened my eyes to like, oh, you're right. Like, I'm not going to be able to tell you the percentages of this, that, and the other thing, but I can tell you what's going on in a way that's not going to put you to sleep. And so, you know, I ran with that.
Boom.
And so, like, what you're saying is absolutely correct. Like, to have a host, like I could host, you know, a anime convention, My Little Pony conference, Rocket League, whatever. Like, personally, I could do that. You want to know the stats of it? I'm not going to be able to tell you.
I'm not going to be able to tell you their names, but.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, oh, this is a pony. Like, you know, like, it's one of those things, but I'm going to do my damnedest. But like you were saying, PKB, is that you can hone those talents, and that doesn't necessarily come with hands on the controller. It, you know, is a public speaking. It is an awareness of how to be on the mic in front of a camera and stuff like that. You could have all the knowledge in the world and still be like not even necessarily boring, but too focused on the wrong thing. So, I would like you know, Ross mentioned earlier. I think there is a pipeline for talent, but I think that comes with confidence and with time. You know, whether it's with hands on the material or even hands on the environment. You know, you talk about on-stage nerves and stuff like that. Some people don't do well with that, and some people thrive when it's just them behind a camera. But I think there definitely is a way to hone those skills with enough time, enough effort as well.
That's a very good point. You're totally. I agree with you. Yeah. I'm on you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, we would need some, having some tools for how to become a caster would be actually very legit, because I think that's also one of the markets for a viable job, for a really good job, because they get paid well. You get to travel, you get to participate in events, you get to meet people, you get to meet pro players. There's barely any cons in
I was gonna say, I was like, there's not a single caster that I personally know that, like, once they decided that that was their career, that they had hardships. Like, everything was just like hunky dory. I was like, oh really? Like,
that's what hard skills. It's like, even if you don't break it out in esports casting, like, if you can talk well and confidently on a microphone and get people to listen, like, you will be desired in the job market.
You can use it. You can use that same skill for everything. I agree. No, that's so fucking smart.
I think we're kind of in the new age of esports, where I think a lot of people are just like a lot more vibe based. But I think right now, if you really want to stand out, you need a skill. You need something to, you know, like show like, hey, I'm a great player. I do this. I'm a great commentator. I have this. I have these reels. I think we saw a lot of jack of all trades. Like I know about esports, but I think right now it's like everything's hyper competitive. I think you need your niche and you need hard skills to prove like, hey, I provide value to this world, the system.
I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. Is like, dude, like, I used to love watching competitive games because of like you said, Adam, before that, like the randomness, the hypeness, the people picking like the odd characters that you would never expect, and not following meta and doing all those weird things. Like I do not watch as much esports anymore as I used to back in like I don't know back in the tens. Like I used to watch all the MLGs, watch all the shit because and I would just hope that I would see something that I've never seen before, and it'd be crazy. But then now I go on and I watch something, and it's just everyone doing the same exact goddamn thing. And it's like, I get it. I understand. You're trying to make your bag. But also, it's a sport. Like, even if we go to, like actual sports, like, the people that I like in sports aren't the best players, but they definitely got some charismatic like features to them that's like, oh man, when he hits a home run, he's about to dance on you, like.
I mean, that's why once in a while there's an underdog that comes out of the shadow, and even in any league, Dota again, CS, they come out, they play unorthodox. You know, it works for one tournament, it works for the second one, but then unfortunately it stops working because it comes down back to the old shit that I said, that unfortunately there are stats, there are numbers, there's an infrastructure, there's meta. There's play styles that are just better in current meta, and if they don't follow the curriculum, right, whatever you want to call it, then eventually they just in the long term they're gonna fall off. And that's how it's been with every esports I've been following. You know, there's been like teams that are on come up. You know, even like in League of Legends, if you follow Los Ratonas, right? The like five guys, yeah, like 5 guys that are like ex-pros. Some are not pros, but like just good players or content creators, whatever you want to call.
Yeah.
And they make it work, and they came up with their own thing even, but the future doesn't look bright. You know, I really doubt they're gonna compete. I think with the higher tier teams now, but I doubt it. But regardless, what I'm trying to say is that again, that is our only. And when these underdogs do come out of the shadow, that's also one of the most fun times in esports. Whenever you follow, because it completely messes up the whole system going on. You know, and but again, unfortunately, it does not happen for long because eventually they just fall off and they end up being where they were before a month.
So then, do you guys think? Do you guys think we'll get back to like a, like? Cause I know, like obviously, like we're at the height. I guess what most people say, we're at the height of like an esports kind of situation, and everyone like is following the meta and stuff like that. Do you think that there will be a time where we'll revert, where we'll eventually circle back around to just be like, let's get flashy, let's get cool.
No.
Let me be a superstar and not just be a freaking guy that just fucking.
The thing we need to see, I think, to set it apart is production level of the actual events. Like, I think one thing that esports doesn't do as good as actual sports is production. Obviously, sports have been around for longer, but like,
yeah.
You can see like basketball though, like the NBA will take like notes from other leagues, see what they're doing successfully, and try to translate that to them. Like,
yeah.
You do not see that in esports. People stay in their own lane, like they do not peep off to the side. I think to be able to create that entertainment, we have to start working together. Because I think the sports community is a lot more intertwined than the esports community. Because everyone's kind of just like in their niche, in their little hole, and like you kind of say we're all together for esports because like it helps everyone, saying like, oh, we're part of this one big thing, but like. If we're gonna be a part of this one big thing, like we gotta actually interact and grow and build off each other and figure something out. So I think like as stuff gets more boring, like basketball is now becoming like you shoot 5,000 free throws a game, viewership's going up. Like, so yeah, just taking other things, learning about production, learning about entertainment, not fully relying on the game being super entertaining for a viewer for what's called esports success.
Yeah. That's why there's halftime shows and other stuff, and that does play maybe very small percentage, but it adds up. You know, all these like
100%.
small Yeah, like so I agree with Ross and you do see I honestly do believe that you do see it more often right now. For example, Dota, right? You
Yeah.
would see international that would have the what is it called? The augmented
Yeah.
reality, reality where the heroes show when they
Yeah.
pick a hero it comes
Yeah.
like a real 3D
Oh, it's
visual
like
like
AR.
crazy shit. Yeah, like yeah,
It's
augmented
super
reality.
cool.
Yeah, super cool. So they are
It's pretty.
improving in
It's
that
super cool. I
sense.
was like, I've never seen that.
Yeah, so you would see like between the games the hosts going to the viewers in the stadium, right, asking them questions, who's gonna win, who do you think is the best player in the
I
last
like that.
match, or he asks. So I think things are improving, but they're improving in slow rate. And one of
Okay.
the reasons was what Ross said is I think a lot of these games are niche and they're competing against each other. Like you would not I never see Dota and League of Legends collaborating because they're both mobile games and they're both clashing against each other because they want to become the best League of Legends game. But in sports, it's not really like that. You cannot have two soccer games. There's just one soccer game. Either you are like bigger sports game or you're not. Is the NBA bigger or not? But I think most of the times when they work together, it just boosts them up. And I think you could see the same in esports. But I don't think anyone is ready to make the first step towards it because again, in reality, they're competing against each other. And I think like Riot kind of hates Valve, because they're just
Well, I'm
like,
pretty
yo,
sure. Yeah,
I think,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
yeah,
they want to make
we,
sure that
we,
they're the top
we have a
dog.
better MOBA game, Why, give us the viewers, give us the attention. I think
But
it
no, I
really is
feel
like,
you. I think Ross is onto something though. Like, cause like that's a very good point. Why the hell why is there so many different tournament circuits and they're all different? They're all different. No one like takes like because not even working together. Even just like I know this is like a weird thing to say, but like watching what someone else does and be like, oh shoot, well I do that not as good. Let me improve myself by implementing that. And like no one does that kind of stuff because I think that's what you're trying to say, Ross. Is like like all the different sports, kind of like oh shoot, I still remember when baseball where they finally added like a rewind because there'd never been a rewind of like when they have like one of those shots and everyone's like oh wait what happened and like they have like the whole jumbotron the legit rewind of like you can legitly see exactly what happens and I think I only noticed it when I saw it in baseball when I went to like the few Yankee games I did and then I started seeing it in other sports, and I was like, yeah, because like, why the hell are we not having this shit recorded and just using the one referee to just base everything off of? Like, so,
no, you see it in League and Dota. In League, for example, or Dota, when the game starts, they use the camera. They show the characters like in 3D. They show the map. They actually like not top down, but they move the camera like yeah. So
like you're
they
in
are
it.
again. It's just yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
It's
kind of
just
cool.
very slow again.
That's kind
They're
of cool.
very improving very slowly, but you can see that these things being added. But again, I don't think it's more of a collaboration thing. It's more of like, oh, you're doing this, so we're gonna do it. I think that's the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
They're more like stealing the idea instead of working
Hey,
together and
that can
coming up.
still be
You know,
considered collaborations.
I mean, I guess, but what type of collab I would love to see is like, hey, we love MOBAs. Why Dota and League of Legends have not thought about making like a event together where it's just these two games and make a 2-day event and just go all in for like make like once a year like I don't know a MOBA event. Like
No,
I
that would
think
be cool.
first of all, yeah,
Fan.
yeah, you would get super packed venues
Oh,
again, like
100%. If you brought all the MOBA players in one fucking venue, that
Yeah,
would be
and a lot of league
wild.
players watch Dota, a lot of Dota players watch League. So again, it just yeah, just
Which I
would
guess
love to
that's
see.
I think that's the difference for me, is that like I said I started off at MLG and MLG was like baseball, like it was just Major League Gaming. But what they did was they had multiple games. Like MLG wasn't just Halo, it wasn't just Gears, it wasn't just Smash. It was all these different games all under the one umbrella, and I feel like now like esports is at a point where it's like, oh well, if you're gonna watch the World Cup, you're just watching League, or if you're gonna watch Evo, you're just watching fighting games. It's like there hasn't been like a collab of like, hey, why don't we just have an event where we just have multiple different games running?
I think
And
Evo
that's
might be the prime example of that, though, is that Evo is the fighting mecca.
Yes.
If you talk about fighting games, the all roads lead to
All
Evo.
roads lead to
Sure,
Evo.
certain games have their own thing, but Evo is a prime example of like that shit is insane. They were fighting inside of a wrestling arena. Was it last year? Year before that?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
That
Like,
is wild.
and that is the culmination of multiple different fight. Like, you mean to tell me that the Blaz Blue kids are hanging out with the Street Fighter kids who are hanging out with the Tekken or the Brawl kids?
I see what
or
you're
the,
saying.
Melee. Like that is the quintessential example of like, yeah, there should be a MOBA version of this.
Yeah.
There should be like, you mean to tell me EA doesn't have the funds to be like, come to fucking Sports Fest. It's Madden, it's 2K, or whatever.
Yeah.
the
How crazy would that be?
Like that. So I think that is a good point to stand on, is that these resources are available. All you got to do is put your bullshit aside. Going to EWC. We saw League next to Dota. People were going between the two buildings to watch their team of choice.
Yeah, which was crazy.
It's crazy to me.
And you said they even had a mobile game in there.
Yeah, you need to tell me you get Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Yeah, Mobile Legends Bang Bang, Dota,
like, what?
League of Legends, and I don't know, fucking throw Arena of Valor or whatever waifu fighter that is currently going on right now. Like, on a 3-day event,
you might have to send me
shit
that.
would sell.
I think also an important thing to mention is that it would only help the other mobile games to get any type of, exposure, because there are other mobile games that keep dying and dying and dying, and I think one of the reasons is because we lack, again, like the same type of infrastructure or a potential event where, mobile players could be brought together and introduced to these new mobile, like just make a mobile venue, mobile event where it's like, hey, there's these
cool.
top tier mobile.
That.
Yeah, because like even predecessor, the MOBA I play, if there was a venue where once a year, all these like 20, 30,000 people come in and they have a stand introducing the game, they have like 10 PCs, people try the game out, spread the word, I think it would just only help out, I just don't see any cons again in it, besides that, maybe these companies
find that
don't
they
wanna
gotta
work
share.
with each other.
They just gotta share money.
Yeah.
No, my game and my game only.
Yeah, I need all the money. That's all. Oh man. No, so I did want to ask, because we're rounding it up right now. I wanted to ask because, like, obviously I feel like it's a very obvious thing that's saying that like esports isn't going anywhere. It's been growing so much within the last 10 years that like it's projecting like money numbers for like almost but not yet to like sports and like even like actors and stuff like that kind of money. So like they're clearly not going anywhere. But like, what is one thing, and I'm asking each one of you guys to answer, what's one thing that you think that could get added on to actually make it solidify and make sure like it's going to be improved for the ages? What's one thing that esports is missing that you think needs to be added?
Okay, I can start off. I think the one thing I see across a lot of esports is I think there's not one goal for esports. I think that's the issue. It's like, more speaking broad, but I think more is on like a game by game basis. But like, say let's talk like collegiate esports versus professional esports versus like high school esports. Like,
Yeah.
one program's thing is like have fun for kids. Another one is like semi-competitive, just like do good enough to make the playoff. Like, and the pros are the pros. Like, I think everyone is going in their own direction of like where they see esports like benefits them the most, instead of like, how do I also give back to the esports scene? So I think like once I was talking about before, but like, yeah, we need more cohesion between everybody to be like, what are our goals, where are we going? Like, right now there's like 8 different like collegiate like esports leagues, and like you look at real sports, there's just NCAA, and like, look, everyone's able to get paid, they get viewership, there's a very clear storyline for people to follow. I think everyone's kind of battling to be like the guy, the person, and they have their own personal goals, but I think like it's kind of pushing esports back if no one has like group goals of where we want esports to actually like look like in 20 years? Because I think a lot of people are like, how do I carve out my space in esports instead of like, what is the space of esports actually?
How do I
look
help
like?
the esports grow? That's a good one. Yeah, I agree. More collabs, more working together to build the actual space that's
I think just more communication.
crucial.
Just people need to talk and like have an idea of like what other people are doing. Like I think something I did. There's like NACE, which is like one of the collegiate esports leagues. I went on a couple of their NACE directors meetings where they have like more like the directors of the programs in there, and like
Oh shoot.
being able to just talk to people there. I'm like, wait, I've never been able to do this, and like I learned so much. And it's like
Hell yeah.
everyone's very much in their own bubble. There's not a lot of like communication between people running esports and all these different leagues, all these different things. I think more communication, more like just establish goals for the space would be pretty massive to actually like make it look like sports instead of it being another Overwatch league where everything fumbles and we get pushed back in a few years.
Please, no more fucking separate leagues. Let's just figure out a way to make it all one big event. That'd be really nice.
Mine's kind of a hot topic, and hopefully I can explain this correctly. I think
Good.
companies need to stop making shitty games that only have 2-year shelf life. Like, we talk about all of these things that are going to be the next up-and-coming something, when we could have put those resources into the current something. And, like, you look at games that come out and are, like, I mean, Heroes is a great example of a great game that lost its support because they were focusing on the next big thing. And then like fucking Concord comes out, and it's like not only there for like a month, you know. Like I think companies need to put the resources they have, not necessarily in like the production or whatever, but just to refocus on what makes a good game a good game. Like you look at traditional sports, they've been the same way forever, and they've had their minuscule tweaks as they have gone through. Like you mentioned, the replay system for like baseball or something like that.
Yeah.
Like even baseball right now is like, man, we've been fucking around with way too many bad umpires. We're probably gonna switch over to like a robotic system to call balls and strikes.
Yes.
Like taking the resources and taking the product and making it better, instead of, okay, now we got a fighter coming out, we got a card game coming out, we got a thing. Just shut the fuck up and give me the original product exactly how it's supposed to be and focus the resources there. But it doesn't make me a whole lot of money. I don't care. Make your shit better. And so that's that. As far as like the longevity of esports, I think the focus needs to be on the product and not where do we go from here. I'm probably explaining that terribly, but
no,
like
I kind of get it.
just-
Like so, like more focusing on building the actual the infrastructure of the games that are actually there,
Right.
opposed of like, oh, let's make another thing that we can grab more people in to make money off of.
right. Like I don't need League of Legends 2 anytime soon. I
Oh
need
my
you to
God,
fucking
they
figure
do that,
out
I'm gonna
the,
flip my
the,
shit.
But you know what I mean? Like I don't need a new Call of Duty every year.
Also
Fix the
true.
one you have. You know, I don't need Street Fighter 7 tomorrow. Fix the one you have. Throw a $20 DLC on there and fine, but that doesn't cover my overhead. I need the next big thing with the updated graphics. Like motherfucker, I'm still playing Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Like I don't need new graphics. Like, you know, and so for me, at least from what I am seeing, is that this kind of boils into the whole like, oh, this is the next big thing, and then it flops a year in. It's like, oh, that's millions, if not close to billions of dollars wasted on a
Lost.
project that did nothing. And so that's where my head's at. In order for this to continue to boom, the imposters need to stop, and the people who are there need to focus those resources back down to its core.
I'm not opposed to that thought. Like that's pretty good. Cause yeah, I was like, oh well, like Riot is really good. Like I'm loving that Riot is just trying to dip their feet into literally every single genre that is known to man. But also true, like they could have stepped back and just like upgraded their first game really nicely.
Yeah, but Smite is a good example where
Smite's
they
one
made
too.
Smite 2 and
Yeah,
that's
Smite
it.
2.
It's
Why do you need a
done.
Smite 2?
It's so done, man. I have like Eleon. He's like a Smite streamer. Shout out to him. And he's like, again, he was a full-time streamer. He had like 300-400 people watching him. And then they released Smite 2, and now he has 100-150 viewers.
'Cause
No
no
one's
one
really
watches
playing the
Smite 2.
game. The players online are less than 2,000 people, and what happened? Nothing happened. Like it's the problem. Also, is what Jesus said. I agree also with Ross. First of all, it's an infrastructure, and then going to Jesus, I think it's also the new games. If you look at the all the esports games,
Yeah.
they are ancient, bro. They are 15, 20-year-old games. With most recent one, probably like a top tier esports game is probably Valorant, and that's again
Yeah,
from
like
a
the newest one.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from a company that didn't really innovate, but they had so many resources and accessibility
That
to
they could
everything.
just
They
make it.
they managed. Yeah, they just made it, and it's a good game, but
Yeah, it's not the worst
nothing
game.
super. Yeah, it's a decent game, but again, look at other new esports games. Just name me one. Like there is literally none, man. Like zero. Maybe some new fighting games come out like for few tournaments, but and then again they eventually
I was
die.
gonna say
Same.
that. Sadly, the only thing I could think of to answer that was the 2KKO, the
2XKO,
other
dude.
Riot
Another fucking
game.
Riot title.
I was like, shit.
Yeah, but it's not even that big, and it's only coming in
Oh no,
January.
dude, no, it
officially,
got
right?
huge. I just read a whole article about it. They've been running tournaments for a year before it actually got released.
I
Like-
understand, but the numbers are not there. If it was as big as you think it is, or make
Well,
it
no,
sound
I'm
as it
saying
is,
I'm
we would-
saying it's like it's rivaling like Brawlhalla numbers. It's rivaling.
Oh, sure, maybe.
It's
yeah.
rivaling like it's because remember it's one of those 2D fighters. It's not rivaling Street Fighter yet. No, is it rivaling Tekken? No, but it's rivaling like Blast Blue and like these like Guilty Gear type games.
But I think the main problem is that we don't see new games in esports scene. It's all the ancient old games, and there's no fresh breath of air, and it also kind of demotivates everyone, honestly, players and viewers, because you don't end up trying or seeing something new. Again, with all the current metas and people playing all the same things, it becomes repetitive.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to see a new game, a successful game, growing within the esports scene that you could start following and possibly playing it, because that's how it was for a lot of people, when League of Legends esports starting popping off.
Yeah.
That's also when the game starting popping off, because a lot of people thought they're gonna be the next League of Legends pro, Not necessarily they were 100% right, but it did give them this, extra.
Give them hope. Give them
spice.
motivation.
Yeah, like, oh, let me go watch this pro league player, Ocelot, like, watch him play on, before Twitch, what was the streaming platform?
Justin
before
TV,
Twitch?
baby.
Justin TV, that's where he was like the biggest streamer there, bro. And I would watch him and I would learn and practice, and it just made me feel good, and I think I wasn't the only one,
Yeah.
like I felt like I was competing, climbing against same rank leaderboard. But yeah, it hurts to see that there are no new games. And I think that's a very, very big problem. Like, if it's already been 15, 20 years, then after 10 years, what, we're going to still have
We
the
should be
same
thinking- we
Dota
should
and
be
League
thinking
and
about new
Counter-Strike? We're going to have Counter-Strike 3, League of Legends 2, we're going to have Dota 3. Like, what are we doing, Like...
I'm just waiting for baseball 4. Like
Baseball
that's the only, like,
4
kinda-
is crazy.
Is like all these traditional sports have survived hundreds of years. Like that's my only caveat to that. If we're releasing new games, they need to be good new games and not just cash grab bullshit games. I think
Yeah,
is
that's
not
the
not a
caveat to
remake
that.
of the same thing. Like, no, I'm with you on
And-
that.
Also, one thing that I guess I can add to this panel regarding the last question is that I do think that all the game developers should stop focusing on esports and competitive scene. Make
I
the
agree.
game fun first, then get all these people playing your game, and then make it competitive.
Yeah, have
make
a fun
another
game that
reason,
people
another
want to get
reason
on.
for those people to come back and play. Because all
Yeah.
the time, like most of the games you see, they just flop right away. Because hey, 1 week in, they're already announcing like a $20,000 game when there's only like 2,000 people online. Like like what are we doing? Like I understand it's only a good thing, but again, that's not just how it works. And
It's
it has,
funny. I
if
don't
you
want to
did your
call out a
research-
game, but you're totally right. It's just like off the grid, that shooter that came out. I thought it was gonna be such a cool ass game. It had such a cool concept, but then they kind of pushed it towards like it's gonna be a new esports game, and then it fell off so hard. Like they was like, oh no, I don't want to play this for esports. I just want to play this for fun.
Yeah, it's just again the casual players amount the viewership, amount the interest in esports, you know, fans and everything, and again, viewership equals sponsorships and yeah, just make nice games, make fun games, get the players going, make sure you know they enjoy the game, and then make something out of it that becomes an esport. And then maybe we potentially will be able to see a new esports game. But for now, it's kind of sad days, and yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I am slowly getting tired of watching Dota, and League. It's a little bit
after
tired.
what, almost 2 decades of it, you're finally done.
Yeah, because when it was like LCS weekly games, I would go with my friend when I lived in Denmark.
Yeah,
I would get some
LCS.
pack of chips, Coke, and we would watch the games. It doesn't matter. Now I only watch Worlds. I watch International when it's something, something bigger.
Like
It's just,
something
again, it's
huge
just,
that actually matters.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. No, that's
My dumb ass holding opening day parties, fucking cooking an entire turkey and feeding 50 people at my house. Like,
Hell yeah!
Well, yeah.
Dude, I
That's
fucking love that. You're keeping the traditions alive. You're keeping the hype alive.
hey, until baseball 4 comes out, you know what I'm saying?
Until baseball 4. When football 2 comes out, it's gonna be fucking crazy, dude.
Well, the question is, what comes out first, Baseball 4 or a new esports game?
New esports game, dude. We got High Guard on the horizon. Come on now.
Oh
No,
god.
oh my god. Now, you heard the high guard? Like,
Yeah, I like how we both were like,
equals-
oh.
No. Look, high equals over, and guard equals watch. So high guard equals overwatch.
Equals Overwatch, yeah.
Confirmed, baby.
Yep,
the
essentially.
the wordplay right there.
It's
Yeah,
like
so
another
someone
goddamn
posted it. I'm like,
Overwatch.
I see what you did, bro. That shit's gonna flop. Like, I think I don't know, man.
Hey, no, I it's glad you said it. No, we can go back, and when it does flop, we can be like, yo, he said it. He called it.
I don't know, man.
No, you guys all had very great ideas. That was exactly what I wanted to hear. Because obviously, the space has so much room to grow, and it really just it's upon the companies, because I feel like the people, as you can see here, all of us, we are back. We are behind.
We're ready.
Esports.
Yeah, we're ready.
Like, we love watching it. We this is something that we want to be as equivalent as the Super Bowl and all these other like actual sports. So like, it's really just the companies and the different organizations like that need to come together and make like a universal one, and then to be good. So yeah, no,
but maybe in another life though. 'Cause,
it can't be another life. We got to still live this one.
yeah, I just don't see I don't see a Gabe collaborating with what is the name of the Riot owner?
No, the actual. I have no idea what his name is.
Yeah. But I just don't I don't see them collaborating. Yeah, it's just not it. Just not it. Maybe like if it's like a company, if it's a Riot, yeah, you would maybe see Riot making their own event where it's all Riot games. But again, what does it do
You
for
know what's
the
crazy?
gaming?
I could
Really
see
not.
that. I feel like that's what they've been building towards.
That's what Blizzard did. That's what BlizzCon.
Yeah,
was for.
BlizzCon,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it's insane. It was one of the biggest events in
Shout out to
USA.
BlizzCon. I'm
when it
really
came
mad I
down
never got to
gaming.
go, but
Yeah, well, until Blizzard again became a filthy ass company with predatory shit and whatsoever with sexual assaults, and
Good Lord.
then they started. Yeah, they saw the numbers go down, and I think one of the years they even skipped the BlizzCon, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, it's GG.
Yeah, that's a GG. That's a hard GG right there. All right, guys. Yo, thank you guys so much. I know we kind of went a little bit over, but this is this is a new thing, and I'm really glad that we got to all voice our opinions and really shoot the shit. Because like obviously esports is a huge thing. It's going to constantly become a topic, whether it's doing really well or it's siphoning or it's like entertaining. Like, it's always going to be a topic moving forward in our lives. And I mean, I'm really appreciative of that because I remember when I didn't think gaming was gonna be anything opposed to just us playing in like our mother's basements. So like, hell yeah.
Some of us are still there.
Some of us are still there. Yeah, some of us still here. Haven't left. But no, I thank you guys so much for hopping in, chatting, really getting into like the esports world and stuff like that. Ross, I always appreciate seeing you, homie. Adam
Thanks for
as
having me
well.
on.
You are amazing. You and your casting couch.
There's like 9 dudes over there. It's
Thank you,
weird. I don't know
guys.
why they're standing there.
And of course, BKB, our resident esports player, letting
Yes,
us know
sir.
what it is from the player standpoint.
Yeah.
We appreciate all of your viewpoints. It means the world to us. But thank you guys
Thank
again.
you once again.
Yeah, I mean, one more time, if you guys both just let us know where we can find you and stuff like that. Like, give your socials so we can stalk you. You can
My
go.
name's Ross. Instagram is Ross ROSS.Oginski. I do not really post esports stuff at the point, but I should make more actual
Might be a
channels for
thing.
this.
Might be something you gotta do.
I'm Adam Cheesy McGuire. Find me wherever you want at Adam on the X, letter X, and you'll find the rest from there. Pick your
Yeah,
social media, type
literally.
it in, you'll find me.
Literally. Kind of a big name.
No, shut up.
With that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for hopping in, tuning in with us. This is Long Island Gamers Fireside Gamer Stories. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until next time, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, guys, because the next time you'll probably see us
Yeah,
it will be next year.
that's true. Happy holidays.
Yes,
and
happy
once
holidays.
Again, shout
Love.
out to Ross and Jesus. Thank you very much. It's very been fun last time and this time, guys. Thank you very much. You guys are big brains and knowledge and wisdom, and I really hope to having another episode. Even the same panel would be awesome.
Of
See ya.
course, of course. We'll come back next year and shoot the shit. See where we've gotten. But all right, guys, take it easy.
It was nice seeing you guys.
Of
Have a good-
course,
have a good
of
night,
course. Have a great night. You guys take it easy. Be well, and we will holler at you guys later.
Open mouth kisses.